So far on this budget build, we've lowered the front, lifted the tank, chopped the frame, installed a hoop with an integrated tail light, upgraded all of the lights, built custom side covers, fitted new tyres, painted some parts, made a cool headlight bracket, and also a custom made seat. So the next step for this bike is having the seat upholstered. I've sent that away and I can't wait till that comes back. It's going to look amazing. And also getting a set of gauges fitted to this, which we're going to do now. But the objective is to have something that looks cool, that's custom and also unique. So let's get into it. So the options that I had for the gauges was using something like this off a slightly newer motorcycle. I could also go with something small like this, or potentially use the original gauges, which I really wanted to do because they're kind of cool. It's just that they're rather large and they're a bit ugly on the outside. So one of the things that I really dislike about these gauges, and most gauges are the same, is if you fit it up and you can see this outside housing, they come with these little brackets that you can install and mount it up the front of the bike somewhere. And that's fine, but if you can see the outside housing, I feel like it just looks unfinished. And if you can cover it up in any way you can. On my Scrambler a while ago, I made this little cover over the front, and that doesn't look too bad for a Scrambler, but for this bike, I want something a little bit more professional, and I want to share the process and how I make it with you, so you can do the same on your bike. So this is the cup that I made, and as you can see, it looks kind of cool, and it fits the gauge perfectly, but then I'll put it up against the bike. I tried to make these cups as small as I can, but still get a nice curve on the outside, and I feel like they just look way out of proportion and they're just too big for the bike. Then I spent some time doing the productive sit, stare, and think about what I'm going to do here. And when I found these little gauges in a box, I really like the size of them. I just need them to be a little less weathered than what these ones are. I decided to make this instrument cluster solely out of aluminium, but you can use anything from plastic, fiberglass, or even a nice bit of hardwood if that's the look you're going for. I can imagine a nice bit of oak or ash would look amazing as an instrument cluster, but if you do put timber on your bike, I feel like it needs to be in a few other places as well, just so it sort of fits in. I had to thin out a little bit of the material for the dash lights to go on because the thread wasn't quite long enough for the lock nut to go on the back. Don't forget to check out our website, caferacergarageshop.com, where we're always adding new products to help you build your motorcycle. So I went ahead and started making some gauge cups for these smaller gauges, but if you don't have a metal lathe like I do, don't worry, because I'm going to explain a little bit later in the video how you can make these gauge cups even if you don't have any tools. And you'll be able to make them in any shape or size that you want. I'm certainly not a machinist. In fact, how I've learned how to do all these little projects is just getting the lathe and the milling machine and just having a go. I've made a few mistakes along the way, nothing too serious, but it's just a process of the more you do something, the better you get at it. I figured it was kind of a pointless procedure to try and give these gauges a makeover, considering it was only 40 bucks to get a new set, and that's with the instrument lights that I'm using as well. So these ones can go straight in the bin. Actually, I'm going to keep those for mocking up the gauge cluster so I don't scratch the new ones. I'm just making a bracket which will be welded onto the back of the instrument cluster face, and this will be sandwiched in the handlebar clamp to secure it onto the bike. So one of the things I promised you was showing you how to make something like this even if you don't have any tools. And the simplest way you can do it, and I'm going to use this one, the large one, as an example. All you need to do is find a lid from somewhere like a hardware store or floating around at home. You might have something that's the right internal dimensions is what you need. And that's the major thing. And then get yourself some chopped strand fiberglass, maybe a fiberglass kit, and some PVA glue. If you've got any pot plant holes around the outside, you can easily fill the holes with this kid's plasticine. The fiberglass just won't stick to it. Get some PVA glue and paint the inside completely with the PVA glue. Wait for that to dry, and get your chopped strand fiberglass mesh and some resin, and just keep lining the sides. Get about 2, maybe 3 or 4 layers. And once that cures, you can just pull it straight out and you have yourself a perfect cup. And the other option, which is even easier again, is just finding someone with a 3D printer and some CAD skills, give them a drawing to the exact size that you want. I'd probably make the wall thickness and the base maybe about 3 to 5 millimeters thick. Have them printed and you are good to go. And just remember, 3D printing can sometimes be a little bit rough on the outside texture, so all you have to do is just put some high build primer on, sand it off, and then just paint it whatever color you want. I found the best method to removing most of the oxidization on the aluminium engine, because we're not going to be painting it, we're going to leave it raw, is using one of these stainless steel wire brushes on a Dremel to start with. And that one's pretty coarse, and then moving over to something with a little bit finer brush, and this one is on a drill at a lower speed, and that seems to get rid of most of the oxidization. I'm going to say it's probably not the best method, but it's the best one that I've found so far. So if you have something that's better than this, please leave it in the comments and let me know, because this engine won't be coming out. We're not sandblasting it, we're not painting it. I would like to just leave it pretty raw and keep it looking original. So these CX500s are a water-cooled engine. This is the original temperature gauge, so I'm going to replace it with one of these digital ones here. These are fantastic. I've used these in the past, and we sell these as a kit, basically with the adapter that you need, and also a bracket that's made perfectly to fit in this location. As you can see on my CX500, this is where it's mounted. It's really easy to see, but it's kind of also hidden away, so you don't have it visible on the dash. I really love this little spot for the temperature gauge because it keeps everything on the dash nice and small and tight and clean. So the side covers that I've made are getting painted, and now you can see why I've made my own custom side covers to cover up this gap here. I seriously couldn't be happier with the seat. My upholstery guy did an amazing job. We went with the fabric top here with a white stitching on the diamonds, and then a vinyl on the sides and the hump. And it's just a really nice contrast. I think it's just going to look perfect when this bike is finished. So this seat has been upholstered on the cost of a trade. Basically, a friend of mine who's an upholsterer reached out and asked if I could do some vapor blasting of some car parts. I said, sure, I'd love to get a seat upholstered. So we just swapped out time, and we both ended up with exactly what we wanted. I'm planning on putting a little custom badge across here that says CX500, and that'll also cover up the little blemish where the weld came through. Let me know in the comments, do you like this cluster in the raw aluminium, or should I paint it completely black? I seriously could not be happier with how this gauge cluster has turned out. There was a bit of work in it, but it was totally worth it. And hopefully it gave you some ideas on things you can do on your bike. Don't forget, I've got a ton of videos just like this one. Go and check them out, and I'll leave a cost breakdown for this entire bike at the end of this video.